Hi, I'm Andrew Baker-Keane. I work for hsbCAD as one of the consultants that you could well see at your factory. I'm part of a big team, and I have the pleasure today to actually show you some of the features that will be most relevant for you when using hsbMake on the shop floor. hsbMake uses cutting-edge programming to enable you as the operator on the shop floor to be able to do your job in the most simplest and straightforward way. It is a totally paperless system which enables you to actually see the data you would normally see on a paper, but also have a whole load of additional data that you can access should you have something that is more complex and not standard for you to be able to review. In addition, when you're working on the shop floor, if some information like a dimension is missing, you can actually query the system to get this for yourselves without having to have the long walk all the way back into the office. On the shop floor, you can actually have what we call a client screen. The client screen is basically a way of displaying the information that you need at that particular point in the factory. Every single client screen can have users logged into it. You can have multiple users assigned to one station, which I have here. I've got a sheaf and Electra. However, only the users that are in green, in this case, the sheaf, is actually logged in and working on that station. So you could have 3 people working and 1 person not because they didn't turn up for the shift. And you would know exactly who was on which station. Because I haven't got anything booked in, there is nothing to see at this time. And the booking is able to be clicked. To use this system, all you do is press the booking and you immediately get all the information you need about this particular panel. I know that I'm on timber saw 1 and I am processing this stack for this job through this particular saw. Up here, we have 2 filter fields. These fields can be set up to filter however you like. I've actually got them set up so I can filter specific timber sizes, and by clicking and I can select multiples, it will actually tell me which size I'm cutting. Or alternatively, I can cut by panel and then it will just show me the information for a single panel. If I want to cut something, I can run it through the saw, I can tick it, and you'll see as I'm ticking things, because I'm cutting all of the items that are that size together, it shows me using the green progress bars which ones those items belong to. You can do exactly the same with the sheets. So if I book in, again, I've got a different user. This time it's Blofeld. And on the sheets, I've only got 1 material, which happens to be OSB or orientated strand board. And I've got these panels, which actually have the sheathing on. Again, I can filter by an individual panel, so I can cut for that panel. Or I can deflag that and I can cut for all of the panels. Exactly the same progress bar appears when you're doing it, whether it's for a sheet or a piece of timber. As soon as I've cut everything, there is nothing left in my list and I can book out. If I pull up the production viewer, you will see in the production viewer, I've just cut all the information for that panel. If I pull up the timber screen that's on the shop floor, you can see that is the same job as I'm processing in the actual screen as it shows in the production viewer. I've now cut all the material that actually applies to this particular stack of panels that are going to be produced. The thing to be mindful of is that the software can then automatically do things once I've done that. So notice at the moment, it's still on this because I haven't booked it out. But when I book it out, you'll see that because I booked out of the panel and I booked out of the timber, it will automatically get passed to the next station. The software has automatically recognized that the timber saw has completed all the information for that stack. The panel saw completed all the information for that stack. And we can now move to the module station where we can actually start to build the sub-assemblies that go into a panel. The sub-assembly could be something as little as a couple of studs nailed together in order to form a cripple arrangement for an incoming point load from a beam above, or it could be a complete doorway or window, etc. If I scroll across, so we talked about changing orders into a work unit of a stack, but equally, at the moment, we've currently got stacks in here. If I take that stack and I distribute that stack, I have the choice of the 3 different modules. I can see module 2 has already got a load of work. I might know that module 1 is actually down because there's something gone wrong. Somebody might have injured themselves. So I'm going to actually use module station 3. Notice the total lengths are being given for what I'm distributing to there. That single stack then transferred into all the panels that make up that stack. Notice it automatically calculated the length, and I've got the length of each panel listed. So I can very easily see what work I've given to whom on which station. If I look at the module stations, so if I first look at module station 2, what we'll find is on module station 2, I already have Ulrich is actually in. This is what he can actually see on his station. He can also see the 3D. He wants to rotate it around, zoom in. And if he wanted to, he could literally do a dimension on this. So if he selects the measure tool, he could do on the fly dimension, or if he wanted to, he can do that again. So if Ulrich wanted to, he could go onto here and he can do a dimension of an item, or he can pick an individual point and say, I want the diagonal from that point to that point, and he can get that diagonal information straight away. So he then knows, even though it might not be a piece of information that is actually on the standard layout, he can pick that up whenever and wherever he wants. On the module client itself, because the module client is interested in dealing with these sub-assemblies, what we have is we have a system whereby you can actually press the big play button either here or here. It will then give you all the information that relates to that sub-assembly. Once you've built the sub-assembly, you can say it's complete. You can then do the next sub-assembly, and yet again, you get all the information. So when we start looking at this, you've got the dimensions running through. Once we've completed that, and there are no more sub-assemblies to build or no more modules to build, we can book it out, and we're ready for the next one to book in. With this type of system, the operator has to pick whatever is next in the sequence. So it is actually following the sequence which was set out by the production office right at the beginning. We also have the option in the software to be able to do one where the operator can actually choose which order he does things in. So this one, I've got Alex. is actually logged in. Yet again, there is nothing to view because I have nothing booked in. But notice on this booking, there's a little drop-down arrow. And when I pull the drop-down arrow, I can see all the things in the list. So I don't have to pick the next one in the list. I could pick the second one down, or I could go to one of the next pages, and I can pick what I want. So I can go into there and book that one in. Only has one module, so therefore start reveals the information I need. I fabricate that module and I complete it and book it out. I'm now free to choose whichever one I want to go next. This type of option to be able to choose with the operator which order he does things in is often beneficial for areas where you've got a lot of manual processing and you might want to get through certain things a bit quicker than other things by grouping stuff together. However, the operator on the shop floor can only choose from what's in his in buffer. So he couldn't select something that was assigned to a different station. So he won't see in his list anything that's been assigned, in this case, to module station 2, because he can only work on this stuff for module station 3. hsbMake client screens on the shop floor can do far more than just simply display a nice pretty picture of what is actually being produced. It can also allow you to select items from the material list and actually see where they're going to be highlighted on the drawing, which makes it far easier for the operators to understand which piece goes where. Throughout, we have the 3D vulnerability and we have the user login. But other nice features that have been introduced over the years are the ability to do a quality check. This quality check is the original quality check and can have a tick box for as many different questions and comments based on a particular panel. You can take a picture and you can utilize a camera if it is attached to the computer. Currently, I can't show this because I'm using my camera for this demonstration. This feature is going to be essential over the next few years to be able to prove to inspectors that what you actually installed in a panel or a floor cassette or a roof cassette, etc., is actually what you said you were going to put in there. Pictures are often used for intricate details or often for proving insulation and other materials which are hidden when the product is assembled. These pictures can be stored and can be utilized at a later date in a report. The original quality check is often used for simple question and answers, so you can actually make sure the product you're producing is the right product. However, we have a brand new quality module that can actually do an awful lot more than what you can see on screen. It is able to take information from the model and ask questions based on that information. It can store pictures into reports, and it can do all of the things you would expect from a quality checking process. Another feature that you will have noticed is that I have a countdown timer going on my client screen. This is an option that can be switched on or off and is calculating, based on the size of the panel being produced in this case, how much time it should take to fabricate that panel. This estimation can be set based on your own criteria, how long you historically take to build something. Once the countdown timer has reached 0, a warning can be given with the numbers going into negative to show how much extra time has been required over and above what was originally planned. This enables the team to understand if they are working to target or if they are running behind. Thank you for sparing the time to listen to this video. hsbMake will help you in the production facility. Please feel free to talk to your managers about this software or contact our sales team if you need to have further information on what hsbMake can do for you. All that remains is for me to say thank you for sparing the time. I've been Andrew Baker-Keane, and I hope to show you more videos in the future on the capabilities of hsbMake.